the place to be.
I like to introduce myself. My name is
And it goes a little something like this.
Going way back to the early days.
Way back in the days when hip-hop began.
For all the pioneers, I'm going way back.
Hear the story again and again of how it all got started way back when.
Listen to this, just listen to this, just listen to this, just listen to this.
Hello. Listen. The Pioneers Show.
This is Sire from the gutter style. Real beats plus real rhyme equals the Pioneers Hip Hop Show with my man Whirlwind D on Kane FM.
Whirlwind D on
Yo, this is Phil Most Chill, still out to kill. And you are listening to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show, presented by Whirlwind D on Kane FM. Get busy, get lost.
Now we are ready if you are ready.
Welcome to this month's Pioneers Hip Hop Show on the mighty Kane 103.7 FM. This month we slide back into our Hip Hop at 50 series, travelling way back to recorded hip hop's earliest years, the period 1979 to 1982, when hip hop records would first appear and hip hop's first stars such as Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, Curtis Blow and the Soul Sonic Force would make their mark, influencing generations of would-be artists in future years to come. Now, before stepping into hip-hop's formative years, I've got to give a massive shout out to our live listeners over on the FM dial or via the Kane FM website at www.kanefm.com, and of course big props to my YouTube peeps catching the show along with scans of all the records that we play over on the Whirlwind D YouTube channel. Got to give massive props, as always, to my man Disorder and the Dub Chronicles show, killing it for the last 2 hours, always guaranteed dope. Now, if this is your first time locking in, each month we set our course for a moment, a genre, a time in hip-hop's rich tapestry, sharing the stories and news of the time, as well as playing those super dope jams. So at the beginning of the year, we started our Hip Hop at 50 series, where we focused on individual years, selecting tracks from each month in the year as taken from well-respected charts of the time, and crucially sharing the hip hop news stories, the chart positions, all done so that we can help frame the year. Now, so far we've covered 1983 to 1990, and for this month's show we set our course for the very earliest years of the music's recorded legacy, a time when hip-hop's pioneering crews first hit wax and in most cases worked with in-house bands to recreate that energy from the parks and jams of the 1970s. Now, like last month's show, which focused on 1983, there were not any dedicated hip-hop charts in the early days of the culture, which isn't surprising as it was still finding its feet, and rap records would often appear in the soul and funk charts, as well, of course, in the case of classics anyway, like The Message or The Breaks or Rapper's Delight, over in the pop charts. So on tonight's show, we are simply playing a selection of brilliant jams from that period 79 to 82. We're going to share some interesting bits of knowledge as well as some of the stories of the time. And before we get into the music, I must just mention my new album once again. It's called Libra, and we're so grateful of the huge support. The record is sold out, although there are a couple of copies floating around on sites like Discogs through my man Sean Dowling over at Hip Hop Bebop, and also Boris in Germany, who both got a handful of copies each. You can still grab one via them if you need it. So let's get straight into the music, and we start with one of the earliest rap records by sisters Tanya and Paulette Winley.
Everybody
Everybody rocking the mic, you see. My brother gangster, my sister sweet tea. And all I did was listen to them and dance. Then finally I said, hey, it's my chance to rock the mic, to make you high. I show you that I'm qualified. And if you're wondering what my friends call me, I go by the name of Paulette. And now I'm here, I'm ready to jam. I come from the borough of Manhattan. You see, I rock you high and I rock you low. Nobody rock you better than this, I know. From the death place, NYC, where there are many fly guys and young ladies. But see to it, you have some fun, cause when it comes to rocking, the city's the one. I came to jam you off your feet. Anyone try to compete? You see, I'll take on 1, and I'll take on 12. I'll even take on all. Oh, what the hell? You see, just messing around, they're just playing the part of the neighborhood clown. You see, they really know how to turn the tables. They just want you to think that they're unable. First, they start you off with the well-known tune, and then you start to dance as you usually do, and then they start to play a little style of taste that make you start to think you're in a different place. Well, then you stop a while to realize that these are just the same old guys. Well, then you're wondering just how they change, and then you say to them, they're just not the same. Then they go on and on and on and on, and they're not ready to stop until the break of dawn. This is Sweet Tea on your radio dial, and I'll be with you for just a little while, or long enough to say my rhymes. I can't say them all, cause there ain't enough time. I got rhymes to lie and rhymes galore, and when I finish with those, I still got more, because they're coming up my ears and out of my eyes. They are so devastating, you will be surprised. MC Sweet Tea is my DJ name. I'm in the history books and the Hall of Fame. I rock so good and I rock so well, and my voice sound better than Howard Cosell, cause I'm the power pleaser, the shaman squeezer, a hell of a love bug. You know when I'm rocking up in the sky, cause you'll always see an angel fly by with a lovely smile up on their face. They tell you Sweet Tea's rocking the whole damn place. So you get on the elevator, press 7. When you walk out the door, you will be in heaven. Take 10 steps straight and turn to your right. Go down a flight of stairs, now over the side. You're in a daze to the count of 3, cause you can't believe what your eyes are seeing. When you get to earth, they won't believe your story. So you take out your book and you take inventory on the deaf equipment the God has granted me for rocking the heavens so viciously. You count 15 speakers in each corner of the sky, a case of brew and some deaf get high. A mic for every member of the gangster crew, 2 turntables you can see right through, a serious mixer, and I almost forgot 3 echo chambers and a deaf beatbox. When I left my house one early sunny day, I had a young man call, I didn't know him at all, so I looked the other way. And then he looked at me, said he didn't believe that I could keep on walking by. He asked what's wrong with me, or could it be that something was in my eyes? Well, I looked at him with my hair slanting grin and said, you must be ill. Why don't you leave me alone? Go straight home and take some water and take a chill pill. Young fellas, if you like my rhymes, sing along with me. And if you don't know my name, just call me Paulette. You see, I rock you high and I rock you low. Nobody rock you better, and this I know. You see, I'm so fast, faster than flash of lightning that just went past. Check it out, y'all.
103.7 Kane FM.
It was a party night, everybody was breaking, the highs was screaming and the bass was shaking, and it won't be long till everybody knowing that flash was on the beatbox going, that flash was on the beatbox going, that flash was on the beatbox going, and sha-na-na.
Italian, Caucasian, Japanese, Spanish, Indian, Negro, Vietnamese, MCs, disc jockeys, to all the fly kids and the young ladies. Introducing the crew, you gotta see to believe. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 MCs. I'm Mellow and I'm rocking so well.
And I'm Mr. Ness because I rock the best.
I'm Raheem in all the ladies' dreams.
And I'm Cowboy to make you jump for joy.
I'm Creole,
solid gold,
the King Creole,
playing the role.
Dig this with the furious 5+ Grandmaster flag, giving you a blast and show enough class. So to prove to you all we're second to none,
we're gonna make 5 MCs sound like one.
You gotta dip, dive.
so socialize,
free out the king of the quick mix.
We're 5 MCs. And we're on our own. And we're the most well known.
On the microphone.
We throw down hard and we aim to please.
With finesse to impress all the young ladies.
We got rhymes galore. And that's a fact. And the satisfaction guaranteed.
To cut a heart attack.
We are the best as you can see.
So eliminate the possibility that the B-N-E-M-C-E is not a threat to society.
Say step by step.
Stride by stride.
I know this fly young lady would like to ride in my Mercedes.
Young ladies.
In my Mercedes.
Young ladies.
In my Mercedes break down and down my grill. A winner.
Drop up in the new Seville.
In my Seville break down and take it on back. A winner.
Dump my grill in a new Cadillac.
My Cadillac break down. I'm just too much. A winner.
Shock your mind in a new stud.
And if a studs break down, then make another choice. A winner.
Dump my grill in a new Rolls Royce.
And if a runs break down, then be out in the rain. And then forget it.
Forget it.
Forget it.
Forget it.
Forget it.
Huh.
Take the train.
Take the train. Take the train. Can't, won't, don't stop rocking to the rhythm. Cause I get down. Cause I get down. Cause I get down.
Kane 103.7 FM.
Loud and clear that the 5 MCs are definitely here. We got Mellow cause I rock so well.
We got Mr. Ness because I rock the best. And Raheem, all the ladies dream.
Cowboy, I make you jump for joy.
And Creole,
solid gold.
The Kid Creole,
that's playing the role.
I can't do it, I can't do it. I can't do it without that disco fluid. Young ladies, rock on. Young ladies who don't know my name, and you fellas who don't know my game. Yes, I'm called the Prince of Soul, but others call me the Kid Creole, the MC delight. Young ladies bite, and when I'm on the mic, I rock the house right. I'm the dedicated Prince, heart of solid gold. I'm rocking to the rhythm while I'm playing on the road. I'm a cool, calm customer, the master plan. If you chunk my hand, you couldn't understand the things I do and what I say. Affect a lot of people in the strangest way. Make you clap their hands and say, alright, a Creole. Till the broad daylight, he's a part of the crew to make you boogaloo. Mr. Ned, what you gonna do?
It's out, it's on, it's in the street. That Mr. Ness rocks the funky beat. Mr. Ness rocks the funky beat. So everybody, what you got for me? Young ladies, and if you're thinking you heard the best rap, you heard the best word. Yes, it's true, we gotta give a fuck because it can't be the best unless it came from us. There's 5 of us and we'll take no stuff. We coming through the city, we coming through rough. We number one, ain't nothing you can do, and if you wanna get down, we'll rock you too. So freak for me, y'all. You don't stop. Come on, come on, come on, and let me see you rock. A cowboy, they say you're from the Bronx, so won't you rock the beat and add a little fun?
Cause I'm the Omega of the rodeo. You say I'm riding the rain till it's time to go. I'm the buckaroo of the boogaloo. All the buffaloes roam when I pass through. They call me C-O-W-B-O-Y. The man is bad and that you can't deny. You say you better watch a woman cause I take your wife. Cause I'm cowboy and I'll give her a try. You say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rap like hell and make it sound like heaven.
To the beat, beat, beat. It sounds so sweet. So just get out the seat. Stomp on your feet. Hip hop, have a ball. Rock, rock them all. Cause the beat, beat, beat you need, y'all. I say get about the chair, get ready to clap because Mellow starting to rapping ever since I rocked at my very first party. I felt I could make myself somebody. If there's something in my heart from the very start, I can see myself at the top of the chart, rapping on the mic, making cold cats with a jock spinning from me called DJ Flash, signing autographs for the young and old, wearing big time silver and solid gold. My name on the radio.
Kane FM.
You say you're 1 for the trouble, 2 for the time. Come on, y'all, let's rock the. Yes, yes, y'all. Freak, freak,
y'all, a funky beat, y'all. And then you rock and roll, and then you roll and rock, and then you rock to the beat that just don't want you to stop. Cause I'm the S to the B, double O and Y, the one MC who you can't deny. Cause I'm the baby maker, I'm the woman taker, I'm the cold crushing lover, the heartbreaker. So come on, fly girls, and please don't stop. Cause I'm MC Spoonie Gee and hit the top of young ladies. I rock on. See, I was driving down the street on a stormy night. To say up ahead, there was a terrible fright. There was a big fine lady, she was crossing the street. She had a box with the disco beat. So I hit my brakes, but not all there. I missed the young lady by only a hit. And then I took me a look, I said, lottie-dottie. A big fine girl, she had a hell of a body. Then she looked at me, and then she started switching. So I took my key out of the ignition, got out the car, and kept my mouth shut. Cause my 20/20 vision was right on the butt. I caught up with her, I said, you look so fine. I swear to God, I wish you was mine. She said, hey boy, you're Spoonie Gee. That's right, honey, how do you know me? She said, Spoonie Gee, you're all the same. And everybody who disco, I know your name. I said, come on, baby, it's not too far. We're gonna take a little walk into my car. I said, we got to the car, then we sat in the seat. And then the box was rocking to the funkin' beat. And then I looked at her and pushed the seat back, turned off a box and put on my 8-track. And then I started rapping without no pause, cause my mind was just getting in those joints. And then I got in the start, we started doing to the beat. I started doing like this, started doing the freak. Yeah, shit, y'all, a freak, y'all. Cause I'm MC Spoonie Gee, I wanna be known as the metropolitan of a microphone. Cause I'm a man's strength, and I'm a woman's pet, and I'm known as the man's joy. And I'm a man who fights on the microphone, and who all the people enjoy, y'all. Yeah, shit, y'all, a freak, y'all. And don't stop, I keep on. See, I was spanking and freaking at a disco place. I met a fine girl, she had a pretty face. And then she took me home, you say the very same night. The girl was on and she was out of sight. And then I got the girl for 3 hours straight. But I had to go to work, so I couldn't be late. I said, where's your man? She said, he's in jail. I said, come on, baby, cause it's telling the tale. Cause if it comes at me, and then he wants to fight, see, I'ma get the man good and I'ma get him right. See, I'ma roll my barrel and keep the bullets still. And when I shoot my shot, I'm gonna shoot to kill. Cause I'm a Spoonie Spoon that don't mess around. I drop a man, we stand right there on the ground. He said from Africa to France, say to Germany. You couldn't pay, yeah, that man try to mess with me. Cause I'm a smooth talker, I'm the midnight stalker. I'm an image of the man, they call it J.D. Walker. If you're gonna be my girl, just come along and just clap your hands until my funk is up. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't gamble either. And most people call me a woman pleaser. Cause I keep the phone numbers on the shelf. I go to make a love and then I keep it to myself. So no one's gonna look at what I'm doing to you.
Yeah, what's going on, party people? It's your boy Mikey D of the LA Posse and Main Source, and now I represent elements of hip hop. So right now you're tuned in to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show with my man DJ Whirlwind D right here on Kane 103.7 FM. Come on, y'all, keep it locked, man. This is where real hip hop lives.
Welcome back to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show on Kane 103.7 FM. If you just joined us tonight, we are firmly rooted in the old school 1979 to 1982. Now, before we get back into the music and the news, hold tight for the end of the show as we have a serious selection of brand new freshness from a man Junior Disprol and his new crew Uber Magnetic. The man like Slipper, DJ Rocker alongside Skyrock and Stanton Miles, big up to you, as well as a cheeky one from my new album too. So we hyped the set with one of the earliest rap records by Paulette and Tanya Winley, who were the daughters of Paul Winley, who of course was the owner of Winley Records, later known as Paul Winley Records, which originally started in the mid-50s releasing doo-wop style music. Now, like many others, when the styles of music changed, he would too, and by the end of the 70s, early 80s, he was releasing hip-hop from the likes of the Soul Sonic Force, the Cosmic Force, as well as, of course, his own offspring. There is, of course, often debate about what was the first rap record, and that depends really on your definition of what makes a hip-hop record, because of course rap existed on records many years before, but we're not going to go into that debate because I think it's one of those sort of endless debates. For the purposes of this show, we're going to focus on those records which are generally accepted as the earliest entries, perhaps because they came from or were inspired directly by the culture. And Rhymin and Rappin is one of those very early records, alongside the likes of Rapper's Delight, King Tim 3, and of course the Runaways soundtrack that actually came out in 1978. So at the moment we're in 1979 with that record by Paulette and Tanya. We then went from there to two brilliant early releases by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, the first being one of their earliest recordings, the amazing Superrappin on Bobby Robinson's Enjoy Records, and the second being We Rap More Mellow, which was credited as the younger generation and featured the Furious 5 minus Flash. Initially, many people, including me, thought this was an alias for Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, but it turns out that it was a name that producer Terry Lewis used for his projects with different artists over the years. In fact, Melly Mel has said that the record was released without their knowledge. This, of course, seemed to happen a lot, thinking back to labels like Paul Winley as well. Finally, we moved to Bobby Robinson's nephew Spoonie Gee and his debut Spoonin Rap, which also came out in 1979. And I must just add what I said a moment ago about records being released without the knowledge of the artist. That is, of course, based on hearsay. So I'm just basing that fact on interviews that I've heard. So, of course, the reality may be different. Now, before we move on to more early goodness, it's important to note that 1979 would see Mr. Magic start his first radio show on WHBI called The Disco Showcase. Although it was a pay-for-time FM station, this would lay the blueprint for the first hip-hop on radio. 1979 would of course see the first Billboard chart success from the Fatback Band with King Tim 3, and of course the Sugar Hill Gang's worldwide smash hit debut. Okay, let's move back into some music and some 1980 flavour.
We rock and don't stop. Well, it's the super cat, the fatalistic, espialatosis, middle finger, techno bag of trees. This is the way we get our kick. We're qualifying, rectifying, rocking till the day we're dying. Every time you're screaming, crying, we'll be here with no denying. We hold our honor and our pride. To take the steps that kept us stride. Set down boots, you will abide. We're gonna take you for a ride. Before we rockin', that's some fun. Let's introduce us one by one. I'm Special K, I'm on display. I rock across the USA. At least sunshine, I rock your mind. I do it to you every time. Remember me, MC Mo D, the man that's at the T.O.P. I'm Spoonie Gee, as you can see, I rock the West Society. And at the end, you will agree, nobody rock the mic like me. But Special K, since I'm OD, you add us up with legal 3. And on the mic, we turn it out, your ladies right without a doubt. And if you don't believe it, you just check out how we rock for you. And if you don't believe it, you just check out how we rock for you. And if you don't believe it, you just check out how we rock for you. Do it! If I needed to believe it, rhymes on guaranteed. Wheeling, dealing, women stealing, Casanova booty, feeling, understanding, rapper man and rocking on the deathman. And complication, stimulation, man was gonna rock the nation. Rhyme, battle time, my opponent, he's a mind. I'm not the baddest, when I win, I am the gladdest. Still beginner, not a sinner on the mic, I'm just a winner. Well, I'm always being up, not to me, the baddest man you ever seen. The finger popping, non-stopping, man who gets the party rocking. I'm so vicious, ever vicious to the youngest. I'm the this is good love, and I always make her always do good, no mistake. And I'm very, yeah, my favorite flavor's cherry. Oh my God, it's fame and glory, but I never tell a story. Only time I front the mic because it's something that I like to be. Sure, the rhymes are low, I always keep some sexy stories. The bad, super bad, never sad, always glad. Nowadays you find a man, ain't nothing I never had. Sleek, so unique, guaranteed to move your feet. So every time I play the beat, ladies get it by the sea. The wheel is stealing, double dealing, man who rapping all the feeling. Give you more rhymes galore, I shoot my shot, I always good girls on my jock. And all I like the man who rock around the clock. I never date, I never wait, the man who set the beat straight. When I'm Spoonie Gee, as you can see, I rock the West Society. I always rock it, you can tell I rock with all the clientele. Finesses, do you know I will, I keep the people staring still. shocking when I rock it, bound to get your biggest pop and handle that. I turn it out, cause that's what party's all about. Equal sharing, always caring, man, no rhyme with solidarity, satisfaction, guaranteed, giving you just what you need. I'm special K with all the planning, know to be the most outstanding when I look into the mirror, knowing there's no one to see. Do it, battle through it, I don't need no disco fluid, ball playing, girl laying on the mic, a rhyme singing, MC who I viciously, satisfaction, guaranteed, or you get your money back, believe me, girl, it's not too bad. Well, I'm indeed the one that deep within it, girl, I wish to see, I make a smile and never frown, cause I'm the man who get on down and feel their body, feel it, face and give it little tongue, I take the time to make a scream and shout to show them what it's all about. Treacherous 3, as you can see, Special K, Sunshine, and Kumo D, and don't forget MC Spoonie Gee.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
you're listening to Kane 103.7 FM.
Listen to this. We got something that you don't want to miss. All your upper MCs, step to the rear, cause the sound that you hear is deaf to your ear. To have no fear, cause the Super 3 is here. With a Super 3 with energy to burn. You heard all the rest and now it's our turn. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Super 3 rock shot cause the number one. I'm MC Really D, you got to know I'm a must. I'm a lover, I'm Aquarius. My name is Mr. D and ladies, I'm a Taurus the bull. So come see me to get your dream fulfilled. My name is Dave Ski, I can make you sneeze and add you young ladies. I'm a Aries, New York, about ready to talk. New York, ha-ha, about ready to talk. We're not the Furious 5 or the Funky 4. So just be prepared for what we have in store. We're 3 MCs with rhymes galore. You pay cash money, you come through the door. To find out what we're really here for. Young ladies, you just have to adore. The way we move, the way we groove, and the way we throw the heart, it still sounds smooth. We got style, finesse, and a whole lot of flair. You can go to other parties, you can go to other parties, you can go to other parties, cause we don't care. But if you want number one, then you have to trust. And if you want to hear the best, you got to stay with us. So just to get a ticket and you stand in line. And be prepared to take a trip to time. From 1980 till the time you're born, until you realize that we're really on. And we don't stop until the break of dawn. So all you sucker MCs, just stop. And now you check out me, you keep on rock shot, rhythm, rock shot. Females, so come on, give it what you got. I'm really deep, no nationwide. Mr. D and Dave Ski, rock by my side. I'm the MC King, Mike Man's the free. I wanna rock the microphone, you know what I mean. For all the party people out there, they heard of the 3, we're moving up, to the TO3. With the super hot rockers and the fantasy, then with the SUPER that beat. So all you sucker MCs, just stop. And now you check out me, so keep on. Break of dawn, batty you on, y'all. Come on, I'm gonna tell you a little something about myself. And when I'm talking, take the game to put him up on the shelf. It's not the jack, it's not the queen, and it's not the king. It's just the ace MC doing his thing. I'm not a dope deal, and not a number one. It's just a systematic MC stunner. Don't need a limousine, don't need a Rolls Royce. Just my microphone and my golden voice. So all you sucker MCs, just stop. And now you check out me, you keep on to the break, the door, patty do on y'all. Come on and come on, you say my name is Dave, so you know I am the best. And I can rock the north, south, the east and west. And I can rock the north, south, the west and the east. Just listen up close to what I preach, cause after dropping the dime, and I can rock 10 rhymes. I'm guaranteed to blow your mind, Dave Ski, blow your mind. Young ladies in the place, I'm one of a kind. So all you sucker MCs, just stop. All the ladies in the house say ow, ow. Say ow, ow.
Kane FM.
Hey, Dr. Jekyll, come here, man.
Yo, man, what's up?
Yo, come here over here to make this telephone call. Yeah, let me call this girl. Come on, baby, pick it up.
Hello? Who's speaking?
Yeah, babe, this is Mr. Hyde. I ain't see you in class at all, so you know I just had to call.
I wasn't feeling well today.
Well, I was wondering if you're feeling fine, so I dropped the dime because you were on my mind. And since I didn't see you today, listen to what I've got to say. Do you remember yesterday in English class? Some people failed and some people passed. Well, I got a score of 22 because I was sitting there just looking at you. But that's okay, I didn't care. I just wanted to kiss you and touch your hair and take you outside for a little walk so we can be alone. Then we can talk about you and about me and how you and me were meant to be. Well, my time's running out on the telephone, and pretty soon you'll hear the dial tone. But before I go, I want to know the deal. So tell me how you really feel.
You talk about the time you saw me and how much we are meant to be. The time when you first asked me my name, you winked your eye, I almost went insane. I promised myself that I would leave you alone because your only love is for the microphone. I need someone who will always care, somebody who will be there. I like to believe what you say is true, but I saw you with another and it made me blue. You told me she was only a friend, I believed you until it happened again. If you try to use me, you'll surely fail, and the stronger one will prevail. You tell me this and then you go do that. I just wanna see where your head is at. So if you want to play gigolo, I'm sorry baby, but I'll let you go because I need someone who will always care, and not just a one-night love affair.
Well, really, I think you should put it in the past. So let's go up to our English class, and after that we can go in the hall, and later on we can play some ball. Well, we can play some ball and I'll rock the world. We can look around for some brand new girls. We can go outside or ride a bike, or we can just get on the mic. Swizz, hard stone, gloves a kiss, and when we rock the beat, it goes like this. You were having a ball, you had all the boys crowding around you, and it appeared to me that you were doing the do. So I went upstairs to the dean, I told him about what I had seen. He said, sit down son, I want to talk to you. You gotta make sure her love is true. You gotta pull her to the side and give her a kiss, and then you hold her tight so she can't resist. You gotta take a man, can't you understand? And then she'll treat you like a man. Well, I never forgot what I was told, that's why other girls call me bold. But you treat me like a boy, you gotta handle with care, cause I ain't no toy. I demand a certain level of affection, that's why, baby doll, you're my selection. I love your shape and you're so divine, and you my superstar, and you love to shine, and you will always be my prize, because you make my day to rise.
Kane FM.
Let's hit the top, a chicken key. Let's hit the top, a down O. Let's hit the top, a Mr. C. Let's hit the top, Ski G. Let's hit the top with the 5 MCs, and we're here to rock. We go just hit the weight, pass it around. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From a corner to a corner, from a side to a side. We are known as the fastest five. We're smooth, we're sweet, we're slick as ice. We can walk it down, put it on ice. We're the 5 princes of harmony. My name is Ski, I'm the prince of harmony. I rock a fish you sleep. And I'm Jarrell O, and I'ma steal the show. And I'm Mr. C, and the Death MC. And I'm Mr. Ace, and I'm here to rock the place. Ain't nobody out there can top my face. The young ladies out there, you can't deny that Mr. Ace is so damn fly. I'm the one MC with the great clientele, and I rock the house. So very, very smart. You said my mama and my father, they both had sex. I said they got up on the gun, they put it through the test. My mama gave birth to me, you see. The baddest MC called ACE, Ski G. What you got for me? Well, I hear that. Well, I hip hop, I'm gonna rock with the boys in the Koolout crew. We gonna rock the hip and we gonna rock the house. We gonna rock to the rhythm and we don't dare stop. I never forget that name, me Margo, when I took her for a ride in my black blue jeans. She was ready for action, I'm just a black citizen. I'm 5'3" from the east of Manhattan. I took her for a ride in a
Dale, this is Oxygen from Strong Island, representing the Vinyl Veterans crew, and you checking out the Pioneers of Hip Hop show with my Mellow, Whirlwind D on Kane 103.7 FM.
Yo, D, I was just messing with this beat in the lab, and I thought, you know what? Let me just pass him this beat, rock 32 bars straight, and we're gone. What are you saying?
Tonight is all about the old school circa 1979 to 1982, and in the absence of specific hip-hop charts at the time, we are running through a selection of dope jams and telling some of those stories, as well as dropping some information about the tracks that we play. First up was one of my personal favourites of 1980, the Benchmark recording by Koolout D, Special K, LA Sunshine, Spoonie Gee and DJ Easy Lee, aka the Treacherous 3, which of course would change in terms of lineup as the years went by. And that track, in my opinion anyway, had one of the most advanced displays of rhyme style, and of course it influenced so many others over the years. From there we move to the brilliant, obscure Super 3 and their highly collectible, at least in original form, debut on Delmar Donald's label of the same name. Now legend has it that Donald discovered the Super 3 when they were rapping in the street outside his apartment. He signed them instantly and took them straight into the studio to record Philosophy Rapping Spree. However, when the record was released, there was little or no promotion and no distribution, which meant that many of the existing records would eventually be destroyed. And so this, and of course Spider D's release on Delmar, are both highly collectible in today's market. Now another memorable label was Taster Records, run by Jack Taylor, who of course formed the legendary Harlem World Club alongside the Aleem brothers. The label featured artists associated with the club, collectively known as the Harlem World Crew. Now that crew of course included future Motown Records president Andre Dr. Jekyll Harrell, who would of course go on to mentor Puff Daddy amongst others. The hardest to find on this particular imprint tends to be Let's Rock with Love Rap on the flip side. There is a version of Let's Rock without Love Rap, which is relatively easy to get, but to find a mint copy with Love Rap on the other side is hard. And Love Rap, of course, is such a dope track. It's a shame it's not on both pressings. And that was a track we just played. For our final track in that volley of cuts, we move to one of the records that came out on Peter Brown's collective of labels, in this case Heavenly Star. That record, Death Rap, featured Tricky T, aka Troy Rainey, amongst others, and it's another dope party jam. The crew was Margo's Koolout crew, and of course there were lots of party jams of that style at the time, lots of funk in the music, and partly of course because a lot of these groups were using in-house bands, and that was a style of music that was really prevalent at the time. Now Peter Brown, who owned the imprint, had started life as a producer and songwriter in the early 70s, and before he launched his plethora of labels in the late 70s, early 80s as hip-hop took hold, he had run his first label, P&P Records, with his wife Patricia Adams, releasing funk, soul and blues. Okay, let's get back into the 1980 sounds, and one of the first artists that would eventually be managed by Russell Simmons, the legend, that is Spider D.
Look at the boggies over here, ladies. Ladies.
New York, this is the place to be. Turn up the sounds, turn on your ears, cause this is Spider D.
Great big stage where everyone has a part to play. You find everything you might need from 1 to 10, from A to Z, and from side to side, from place to place. New York is full of every race, and if you got big cash, you can buy the world. From automatic guns to pretty girls, it's got skyscrapers and sights to see. It's got everybody wanting to be an MC, and you might see just anything like a bank getting robbed or a pocketbook sting. But don't get me wrong, it's not all bad, cause you can have more fun than you ever had. We've got the Yankees and the Knicks, 42nd Street and the Times Square tricks. Young ladies, go see a play, cause there's acts galore on Old Broadway and Art LaBute from another land. Come check New York out if you can, but hold on to your credit cards, and if you got it like that, bring bodyguards, because the apple has worms to act tough, and sometimes it can get a little rough. But you'll be okay if you play it cool. Don't act like a punk, no a fool, just chill on out and have some fun. This is the MC, that's number one. So all you ladies, open your eyes, you're in a contest, and I'm first prize. I got wavy hair, a rap that's meaning I always walking against the lane. We got Larry the Fan and DJ Jones. New York is the rapper's home. We got Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Curtis Blow and Super Rhymes. We got the ladies of Mercedes and Shy Rod to help all the fellas to the very top. We got the Funky Four and Bootsy T, Tanya, Finley, and Spoonie Gee. Rappers, repeat after me, this is the Rappers Anthem theme, the national rapping anthem theme for those in the club of the deaf MCs, from the first jam play to the early live. And MC's job is to rock it right. Rock it right and rock it well. Just move your mouth like how it goes sell. From park to park, from place to place, you gotta rock the house at a steady pace. So rap it right and rap it good. Rap it so your rhymes are understood. Handle the mic with finesse and ease, and fill your pockets with green money. So when you take a microphone in your hand, just make the people get up and dance.
103.7 Kane FM.
With a Harlem world crew, sing a ling along. Come on, fellas. And we're doing the do. Check it out, girls. From the H to Y, the D and the E and satisfaction, baby doll. It's guaranteed and you sure all the time. Make some more. I got a voice. That's solid gold. I'm the master man from across the land. About to take you to a love land. Cause I'm slippery as a seal and soft like a eel. And when they come to MC, I don't steal. All night long, sing along. Get it rockin', fellas. And we're doing the do. Just for you. All night long, sing along. Now check this out. Well, the music sounds so good to you. You never wanna stop. So just get on the floor and yell for more and don't stop until you hit the top. Now just bless your soul to rock and roll. Check the high you almost pray. We got hearts like lions and there's no denying that we are here to stay. All night long, sing along. And we're doing the do. It goes a little something like this.
103.7 FM.
We don't wanna be left behind. All we wanna do is just blow your mind just one more time.
And you say New York City right about now. To the sound you hear, deaf to your ear, you have no fear. The Mix Master Mike, Disco Dave, the amazing Crash Crew is here. Backed by popular demand and shock the motherland. Giving you more than what you bargained for. In your mind, bringing you the baddest jams we can find.
We are here to tell the world just who we are. Shocking females, cause we are superstars. Let me tell you, the bass in your face, the highs in your eyes, so make your nature rise. Cause we are the Crash Crew, and we rock till you can't survive.
So it's Friday the 3rd, when we heard the word, Mike and Dave was taking over the town.
And now the happy people
was dancing to the beat
of the vicious Crash Crew sound.
With 2 DJs, 6 MCs,
we rock the house so viciously.
And I'm the R, the E, double G-I-E, be the highest degree and the woman's key. Satisfy your needs and curiosity.
Well, I'm the B-S-F-T-R-O. So I came here to rock, I came here to roll. Wouldn't touch the whack, I would've 10-foot pole.
Cause I'm the L to the A, the S-H-U, to the B-E-E. I'm lost you be, because I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. They talk about B over cups of tea.
Well, I'm the M to the I, the K-E-C, because I rock the mic tranquility. With the force of the 5, not 4 MCs, cause I am the only E-K Mike C.
And I'm the G-double-E, the M-A-N, and I want you young ladies just to understand that I'm spreading my loving from land to land, doing it all with my master plan.
And I come to you in the radio wave. I rock the house cause I can't behave. All the females on the dock just praise and crave. I go by the name of a Disco Dave.
So don't quit the beat quitting, stop the beat stopping. Come on down, see, just keep on rocking.
Kane FM.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was the message, and the message was love, and love was the swan. I am the magnificent.
Ha ha ha. Come on, get down. Hey ladies, are you ladies driving me crazy? I wanna ask for love, you tell me maybe. That's why you haven't seen me lately. Cause I ain't been in town, I've been messing around. And this is the way that we start to get down. Woo! Ha ha ha. Check, beep it out. Beep it out. Cause this is the way that we turn it out. Yeah. Now they call him TJ, his name is Swan. Just get on the mic, come on. In 52 states all across the land, Germany, Russia, and even Japan, they rock to the beat of the Swanee sound. Cause it makes you get up and boogie down to the rhythm of love inside your mind. Just to let you know that I'm one of a kind. To the rhythm of the beat that says you go on and on until the break of dawn. So people in the back and way up front, let me make it short and very blunt. I'm gonna do it with feeling, gonna do it with soul, gonna make your body lose control. So I'm picking up where I left off. I'm a slick talking brother from New York saying you find the stage and we'll give the show. And this is the way my story go. I'm TJ Swan and I'm a bad Leo. I got a limousine and I'm ready to go. So for all you fly girls are getting loose, just jump in my car and listen to my juice. I got rhymes for days for rhymes. Keeping up with the time. So from the top of Mount Clair to the streets of Times Square, I'm telling the world, you better beware, because I'm coming strong, with something you want. And believe me, girl, it is the joint. It's a supernatural feeling that you can't discover for a sassy sister and a nasty brother. And you will learn as you listen. I'll blow your mind like nitroglycerin. So come on, female, seal me with a kiss, because I'm armed and extremely dangerous. Because I brought down lightning, put it on my wrist. So come on, females, so get next to this. Little drops of water and little grains of sand make a mighty ocean and a pleasant land. So you see, you don't like rapping and stuff, but check it out, you better get tough. So wherever you are, near or far, chilling at home or driving a car, rocking to the rhythm without a doubt, because the Swan is gonna turn it out. I'm not the best MC, and this I know, but every time I rock, I always do the show, cause I'm as bad as a bear, my hands in the air like a snake in the pit, trying to freak. You're the killer like a Webster's book when I start to cook all the freaks from a A to Z. From the year 1970 to the end of eternity, I'll rock your mind with devastation. Take command of your imagination, fill your mind with conversation, so you can rock with motion. motivation. To the hip, to the hop, to the hip, the hop. Just stop so my motherless love can ride. Well, winter's over and the summer's here, so let's just start to set the atmosphere. Now there's a party right here, and you're the stars, whether you came from near or far. So get out your seat, don't cut no slack, cause I tell you about my story called Summer Rap. From the coast of California to New York, we're #1. It's summertime again, and the year is 81. We might have problems, as you will soon see. Inflation in the nation, also poverty. Listen to this, don't get me wrong. You gotta get money, you got to stay on. When it all comes down, it starts to get rough. My name is S Love, and I am pissed tough. And if my summer's gonna be the ride, well, this is how I want to start. With a boot-cut British champagne cologne, high power and it's imported from Rome. Fletched hats to warm my brain, leather and suede, handcrafted this way. Designer jeans, got 28 pair, Lathan AJ's the top of my gear. A triple black Audi, now we call the Fox. Batting uptown, just ready to rock. Looking around, gotta go for two. Now guess who I just run into? With the weather's hot, and that means a lot. A sweet fly girl, and that's your shot. But in this world, you gotta have three girls. I'll bring you money. One working here, one working there. One at home messing with just a head. Can't fly.
Yo, what's up? This is Chrome representing the All C&I, No Half Stepping Records. And you're checking out my man, Whirlwind D, on the Pioneers Hip Hop Show on Kane FM. Keep it locked.
Welcome back to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show. If you've just joined us tonight, it's all about the old school, looking at the years 1979 to 1982. Now don't forget you can catch all of our previous shows up on the Whirlwind D YouTube channel. Big thanks for all the comments and likes, we hugely appreciate it. And remember, we always feature brand new music at the end of the show. Lots of dope freshness to come from the likes of DJ Roker, Slipper, Uber Magnetic, of course that features my man Junior Disbro, and my man Stanton Miles, also involved with that DJ Roker track alongside Skyrock as well, and more. There's some dope to come, so hold tight to KNFM for that, coming up later on in the show. So before we talk about the tracks we played, it's worth pointing out the significance of 1980, which is where we find ourselves in hip-hop terms, with so many firsts and key moments. So 1980 would see hip-hop's first gold record in the shape of Kurtis Blow's The Breaks, while Kurtis Blow and the Funky 4 plus One More would separately become the first rap acts to appear on US TV, with Kurtis Blow on Soul Train in October 1980, and the Funky 4 appearing on Saturday Night Live soon after. As well as this, in 1980, the Times Square show would host many of New York's talented graffiti writers. In fact, it would be at this show that Charlie Ahern, Fab Five Freddy and Lee Quinone would meet and agree to work on the first hip-hop movie, Wild Style, which of course would eventually be screened for the first time in 1982. Check out our 1983, which is when the film actually got released, show for more on that. So first up, we heard Spider D's brilliant Big Apple rapping on his own imprint, New Detroit Records. He would of course go on to make many more records and manage Power Play Studios for a number of years from 1983 in Queens. We then moved to the debut by Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde doing the Do. Of course, they had done work with their crew, the Harlem World Crew, as well around that time. Now, at the beginning of the 1980s, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde were stalwarts of the Harlem World Club, one of hip-hop's first night spots. And one of their earliest releases was this rarity that we played, and that appeared also on one of Jack Taylor's labels. In this case, it was the Rojack imprint. Jekyll and Hyde would later on sign to Profile Records and record together until 1987. Alonzo eventually became involved in television, and of course Andre Harrell would go on to become CEO of Motown Records, having previously had a significant role at Def Jam and founded Uptown Records. The next track we played was the debut by the Crash Crew, at the time known as Disco Dave and the Force of 5 MCs. This Manhattan-based crew would eventually sign to Sugar Hill minus their production Mike and Dave. Once with Sugar Hill, they would perform on shows alongside other Sugar Hill crews such as Flash and the Furious 5, but of course both of them had used the Freedom Break, and you heard it on this track that we just played. Now, legend has it that the two crews resolved the issue of who could perform their freedom-based track over a football game, and the Furious Five ended up winning. Maybe they should have had a motorcycle race, because if you remember that Crash Crew cover, it looked like they were pretty adept on their motorbikes. Anyway, finally we heard an early record by Harlem DJ TJ Swan. Not, of course, to be confused with the Juice Crew singer of the same name. This record appeared on the Express label, and we now move on to one of the most collectible records on that imprint. An amazing record too, most importantly. It's solo sound and get the party jumping.
Now if you're ready to rock to our brand new sound, somebody, everybody, well, everybody say, get down, get down, get down, get down to the funky sound, cause we are the crew called Solar Sound. Ha ha ha, woo, and you don't stop. Party people out there, we got something new for all you fly girls
and all you fellas too.
Check it out, this new crew out who's just been born, and you best believe we're definitely on. Let's love from the heavens above, and Cool G's gonna shock to the T.O.B.
Little G to the funky beat. See me, I got the rhythm and the harmony.
Well, carry high, cause I'm down below. With the 5 MCs got rhymes galore. But we got something new, now it's just for you. A little break to make you do the do. So listen, pay attention to what you've been missing. We'll blow your mind like nitro glisten. The time is now, the place is here. To rock the microphones is our career. Take 2 steps back
and tout it out,
while the 5 MCs just turn it out. No ding, no ring, it's the real thing. Come on everybody, let's start the swing. Put your body on chill, your feet in check, and come on down to the discotheque. We are the new style MCs, not rush, not blush,
cold crushing MC.
Well, we're bringing our voices and our music, so don't deny, just start to use it. Party people in the place, just check out the high, just check out the bass, cause we got the best, how we got the best, how we got the best music in town. So let's get it jumping, let's get this party jumping. All the MCs get ready to vibe while we do it right. So let's get it jumping, let's get this party jumping. Get ready to rock to the broad daylight while we rock the mics well.
We put the party in all kind of chance to make everybody get up and dance. But before we start to harmonize, there's something that you must realize.
But we're the new style, finally make it come alive. We don't take no mess, don't take no job. Down south they say we're cyphers on eyes, but we're letting you know that we're qualified.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
You're listening to Kane 103.7 FM.
Again, for all the foxy girls, won't you get on the drums and rock their world?
superstar. I can make your booty shake no matter who you are. So let your legs go wild to the funky drum and sound. It's the newest sensation that can ever come to town.
$1 million legs. $1 million legs. Yes, I'm Jazzy J. I'm as smooth as a dove, and I like the kind of legs with the glow of love, with the shine that's divine to be just mine. A pair of legs like yours are one of a kind. $1 million legs. $1 million legs.
Say long, short, legs to sport, straight bow-legged or every sort. I'm Spoonie Gee, so let's have a ball. Don't matter to me, cause I'll take them all.
$1 million legs. $1 million legs. $1 million legs. $1 million legs.
I'm not ever alone, I'm not full grown. I like a pair of legs with a light brown tone. I once met a girl who had it like that. She wasn't too skinny, she wasn't too fat. I was one of the four, riding through her town. And when I saw her legs, I looked her up and down. You know I gave her some rap with no delay. So come on, Disco Rico, what you got to say? Everybody in the crowd just want you to know. Let your $1 million legs give you get up and go. Cause I like a body crowd with super finesse. So let your body get loose to fall off the best. Your thighs give rise to a new surprise. Females shake a leg as well as the guys. Listen real close, you're in for a treat. Come on, Jazzy J, make it sound so sweet.
Young ladies out there, when I look in your eyes, I can see a little wiggle coming from your thighs. How you doing, pretty mama? It ain't no thing if you wear your pantyhose with the static cling. Cause pantyhose, they run and tear. I'll see if I can buy you another pair. My rhymes on it out, there's no more to say. Here's a voice that's a choice called Spoonie Gee.
Well, I'm the fellas, or say the ladies' dream. Nerdy, y'all, I better make you scream. People call me Spoonie Gee, cause that's what they say. I'm cool, slick, jazzy, I make your body sway. I'm about 5'5" with wavy hair. To all the young ladies, I'd like to share myself with you, yourself with me. Together we can be very happy. So, ladies, if you please, we have the remedies. There's nothing like a dose of Outlaw 4 coming at you in order to succeed. Fulfill your every need. Young ladies, we adore your sympathies. And don't you know, baby, we don't have a doubt. We're turning out to the break of day. Nobody can say we're not unique, we're not grade A. From side to sea, from sea to side, ha, we rock you to Brazilian nights. Establish pool and clientele for you. So shake a leg, baby.
You're listening to the sounds of Kane 103.7 FM.
That's right, this has got to be the greatest record of the year.
Oh, really?
Check it out.
All you folks has been waiting on me. Here I am, finally. Just look in the sky, look in the tree. I tell you who you see, it's Starsky. Got a happy, happy story to tell you all. And if you listen to me, you have a ball. All you people around the nation, all I need is participation. Don't need no segregation. Don't want no revelation. See, when I learn, when the world turns, and nobody gets a chance to earn. So take your time, but don't hesitate. Cause love bug Starsky's not going away. I'm often imitated, but never duplicated. Cause my rap is so complicated. Now you look in the sky, look in the tree. Who do you see? Starsky. Who do you see? Starsky. Hip hip, hop, snap, crackle, pop, and everybody's doing the rock, rock, rock. Just kick off your shoes, relax your socks. Because the love bug Starsky is ready to rock. Snap, crackle, pop. Snap, crackle, pop. Yes, yes, y'all. Now if you can agree with me, I'm sure I can tell you what it's doing for me. I got a master's degree, a PhD, and I'm talking about over coffee and tea. I'm going down in history. It's the LOVEBUG. So now you heard what it's doing for me. You can do it too, just wait and see. So ladies, stand in line. Be prepared to be one of mine. Adore me nice, you adore me well. Me and you can have clientele, but I smell so nice with my cologne. And not a lady in the place to leave me alone. Trouble man. See, I got something new just for you. Now if you're not too skinny, you're not too fatty. Everybody say, how about that? How about that? Yes, yes, y'all. Keep on. Do what you like. Hey, ladies,
What's happening?
Nobody can do it like the Starsky can.
Check out my bass man. All right, yeah, all right.
Kane FM.
Say what?
Check it out, party people in the place to be.
You're now listening to the sounds of the Nasty 3 with 3 MCs rocking back to back, and we're down by law, and that's a fact.
Well, I'm the super love guy. You can call me Max Ray along with bass for hops. Apple pie, Chevrolet.
Now I'm MC the Kid Supreme. Now when I rock it to the rhythm, ladies see what I mean. Well, my name is Dave, but you can call me Charlie D, cause I rock to the rhythm to the end of the week. Now with the Nasty 3, and we're all the go, and we're rapping with the touch of class disco.
You go harmonize a sound, synchronize a beat. Make it do the dance, make it do the freak. Make it get on up, out you see. DJ Willie Will, Disco G, Mellow B. If you came to this party, cause you wanna swing, somebody say it ain't no thing.
It ain't no thing.
It ain't no thing.
It ain't no thing.
I keep rocking the house.
Now if you wanna hit the beat, just smoke quick. Somebody say it's the ultimate.
It's the ultimate.
It's the Cold Crush.
It's the Cold Crush.
I keep rocking the house, cause we're the nice and nasty 3, as you can see. And I'm on
to on.
I keep rocking until the break of dawn. So hey, brothers, listen to me today. Now as I tell you about the problems in the USA. Now we prices going higher, and people complain while your old paycheck just ain't the same. Now we prices going higher and higher, it seems. Well, it looks like it never reached your American dream.
To own a house and car and luxuries. That like a dream I never come to be. Because you work all day, that's no job. The hours you keep are 9 to 5. Every day, trying to make a dime. Yes, I forgot there's always crime.
Inflation, street drug addiction, tax cutbacks, dirty politicians. No matter if you live, no matter if you die, all the government wants is a piece of the pie. So get it on, girl. Girl, get it on, get it on. Girl, you gotta get it on. Not talking about coffee, talking about tea.
With the cherry in front, what you got for me?
Now just open your eyes and clean out your ears, because here's one thing that I want you to hear. Now I'm down with the screw, I'm very sure. I got the rhymes complete, I got the rhymes galore. Now I can rock to the beat with no obligation, cause I got the one thing called determination. I do my job and I'll do it clean, cause I'm insincerity. The Kid Supreme, I got rings on my finger, got gold around my neck. Plus I had the tendency to put the ladies in check. I'm like a jazzy young lady with a nice complexion, cause I give a love with all my affection. I'm insincerity, I got a lot of pizzazz, and I rank #1 in my social class. Now I'm down with the school that always steals the show. I'm down with the touch of class disco. So Mexi Ray, every phrase, every single word. Hook it up, just like a mockingbird.
Every T, every phrase I will repeat like a tape recorder or a parakeet.
Yes, yes, y'all.
Yes, yes, y'all.
To the beat, y'all.
To the beat, y'all.
Now Mexi Ray, you got fame, plenty of wealth. Won't you get on the mic and introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Mexi Ray, turn stone into clay, and I'm always on the scene. I got money in my pocket, a watch, and I like it. Plus the color of my money is green. But I'm a cool cucumber, the first, the only number when it comes to rapping the rap. I got an office and a desk, stuff my fingers do the rest, and a secretary on my lap. Cause my block's the rock, my neighborhood's good. Fellas are chillin', girls act like they should. Everybody, somebody, clowns ain't down. Got the uptown sound coming by the pound. Young ladies, we rock all year round. All year round, all night long. Fly girls, fly guys, rock on and on. Go
See for forever. Yeah. Right now, I'm down in England, fresh out of Ghana, listening to the Pioneers of Hip Hop show on the Kane FM with a man like Whirlwind D and a man like DJ Miracles Skane.
Kane 103.7 FM, the Pioneers Hip Hop Show in full effect. Now, if you just joined us for the first time, we've fixed our gaze on the old school, celebrating hip hop at 50 and running through some key news events and essential jams from the years 79 to 82. Remember, you can catch all of our previous shows on the Whirlwind D YouTube channel and some of the really old ones over on the Kane FM Mixcloud. Now, I must take a pause to mention that Beeline will be supporting the Jungle Brothers in Brighton on the 16th of November. It's going to be an absolutely killer jam, and tickets are on sale now, so go grab yours. Now, first up in that smorgasbord of prime cuts was another jam from the Express label and an artist who was another graduate of Harlem World. That was Les Love and his crew Solo Sound. Les Love began his journey as the voice of Harlem World for their radio commercials. He would then go on to make two old school classics, this highly sought after gem being one of them, as part of Solo Sound alongside a varying roster of rappers and DJs, including Eazy-E, not to be confused with the Eazy-E of NWA fame, of course, Kool T, Sean Ski and DJ God. While Les Love would sign a brief record deal with Select in the mid-80s, DJ God, aka Roger Hambrick, would go on to lead the Bronx Mass Choir, and his credits would include work with Alicia Keys and Kanye West. We then moved into a brilliant Connecticut classic and a collector's grail, the Outlaw 4 and $1 Million Legs. Now, Outlaw 4 were one of the crews alongside Rappamatical 5, the Chili 3 MCs and more, who were beginning to coalesce around Mr. Magic and the fledgling Connecticut scene. And of course, by Mr. Magic, I mean the Mr. Magic from Connecticut, as opposed to the legendary Juice Crew, Sir Juice Mr. Magic from New York City. Now, this particular 12 did actually have links with New York City, and it featured Disco Rick and Basic from Treacherous, as well as drums and arrangement by the mighty Pumpkin, who was beginning to flex his muscles far and wide. We then switched back to Harlem World and the late great Lovebug Starsky with his debut Positive Love. Starsky would become involved in Jack Taylor's label as he spent some time as a DJ at Harlem World, as well as other clubs in the early 80s such as Disco Fever, hence his follow-up single which we played on the last show focused on 1983. So for our final cut, we played a brilliant obscure jam from the Nice and Nasty 3, another great old school jam that featured the legendary Pumpkin, who was, and this was probably, along with that Outlaw 4 record, one of the first records he did. Of course, very sadly, we lost Pumpkin back in the 90s, but his contribution to the culture is set in stone. Now to another artist who made a huge contribution to the culture, it's Grand Wizard Theodore.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah!
I said, do you want to hear it?
Yeah!
Jump tap! Young ladies
and all you gentlemen, this is original rap from the start
to the end. We're fresh out the pack,
so you gotta stay back. We got one Puerto Rican
and the rest are black.
Our DJ called Peter, put you on the floor. He put bandits on the records, he got cuts galore.
And Diddle's on the tip-top.
He give the records a chop and make the 5 MC wanna rock the spot.
So have you ever seen a human as fat as a lizard?
Check him out, party people, he's the only Grand Wizard.
And let me tell you what goes on inside of a party.
You come to have a ball and meet everybody. The bass in your face, then you start to smile. You say you're gonna go home, but then you stay a long while.
You get up out your seat cause you're feeling good,
because the beat sounds all like you know it should.
But then you get on down to the funky sound,
and then you boogie up until you shake your butt. And then you freak, the freak's so very unique. You start clapping your hands and move your body to the beat.
You start to sweat, you start to feel the heat.
And now this is what we call a real funky beat.
What's your sign and what's your name? What's on your mind? I'm fresh and I'm Aquarius. It's like a twist twist. When they come to fly girls, I like the tongue kiss. You ask me why my name is Kev. I think it's called to take the lady to the water bed.
I gotta rock. What's your sign and what's your name? What's on your mind?
I'm fresh, well I'm a Virgo because I like the disco. Wanna have a big house in San Francisco. You ask me why my name is Dr. Rock, cause I know how to rap and I'm the king of hip hop.
Master Rock. What's your sign and what's your name?
that dress to a T, and all around the world they gonna know me. You ask me why, my name is Rob. When I get off the mic, the ladies surround me in the mob. Whip a whip, what's your sign and what's your name? What's on your mind? I'm fresh, I'm a cool Sagittarius with clientele, and if you ask me my name, I'll just say, well, I'm Prince Whip a whip, and yes, I wanna stay numb. The professional musician of the microphone. And now if you wanna know why they call me Whip, it's cause I like all the ladies with the curvy hips. Oh, Rhymin, what's your sign and what's your name? What's on your mind?
I'm fresh, well, I'm Aquarian, rapper to end is so deep. I'm a Spanish MC, the rap so swiftly. They ask me why, my name is Spoonie Gee. I'm not prejudiced, I like all the beauty.
Alright, now get down, y'all. Come on. Do it. And he can rap, cause he's fresh out the pack, y'all.
Well, I'm the written Kev, and that's what I said. You know I'm richer than your butter on top of cornbread. I don't play the game of the
bite,
cause originality is what I like.
And he can rap, cause he's fresh out the pack, y'all.
Well, I'm MC Dotterung and I must introduce. I rap upon the mic cause I got a lot of juice. And when I rap to the ladies, they get real loose. And when they come to make a baby, you know I produce.
And he can rap cause he's fresh out the pack, y'all. Well, I'm the master Rob, but with the bass in my voice, I talk to you, girl, until your body get moist. It's just me on the mic, I'm doing my job. And like a pretty boy, you know I'm down with the mob. And he can rap cause he's fresh out the pack, y'all. Well, I'm a prince, you know, and they call me Whip a Whip. Now when I meet the fly girls, I grab them by the hips. Now when I take them to my home and hold them in my arms, guaranteed they'll love my Whip a Whip. He ain't black, but he's fresh out the pack, y'all. And now all you Puerto Ricans, you're in for a treat.
Porque este Puerto Rican can rock the funky beat. Hey, Ruby D is my name and I'm a Puerto Rican. You might think I'm black by the way that I'm speaking. Look, I'm sick, I'm happy with a lot of girls. That's the reason I attract all the street fly girls.
And he can cut and make you shake your butt, y'all.
103.7 Kane FM.
If you're ready for this,
Say you're ready for this.
if you're ready for this,
Say you're ready for this.
are you ready for this? We're ready for this. Are you ready for this? We're ready for this. Where we just can't miss.
We just can't miss.
Where we just can't miss.
With a beat like this.
It's the joint. We're gonna prove to the world that we're for real. We're gonna prove to everybody we know the real deal. We got golden voices and hearts to steal. Because the 5 MCs, it got to be real. We wanna hear the party people yell Sugar Hill. So what's the deal? Sugar Hill. So what's the deal? Sugar Hill. Ooh,
That's the joint.
these words we said we want y'all to hear. We're gonna
Make a lot of sense.
We're gonna make it clear. We're gonna rock this place. We're gonna use some class. We're gonna do our best. We're gonna
make it last.
We got rhymes on our minds. We got rockin' in the heart. And now the things we do, you can call it ours. We're back. We're slick. We're doing it hip. We're gonna rock this record.
And don't you forget.
That's the joint. Because Little Ronnie C is the melody.
And Keith help me rock, we sing in harmony. Because Jeff is the rhythm
and K is the bass.
Shot, rock, shocking the whole darn place.
And now here's a little story you got to be told. The party people in the place
got a whole lot of soul.
So when we on the mic, y'all shocking the house.
And when we all get together, we can turn it out. Now we're in the house, as you can plainly see. Everybody say, get funky, and make money, and you don't stop. Give it to us now. Funk it up, get funky.
Let's go to work.
Come on.
Say I got money and I can jerk.
To the beat that makes you wanna rap. Come on, shout rock, cut out the crap. Just turn on your mic and start to rap. And let everybody know you can never be the whack.
You know that.
And you know that.
And I know.
And she knows, and we know that. We know what shout rock.
When I rap funky for, I can never be the whack.
And we hear shout rock. She's the joint.
It up, y'all. Do it up. But Shot Rock is gonna show you how you get real rough. I'm Shot Rock, and I can't be stopped. For all the fly guys, I will hit the top. Well, I can do it for the ones go weak and strong, and I can do it for the ones that are right or wrong. Well, I'm listed on the column that's classified. I can be a nurse, and I'm qualified to talk about respect. I won't neglect. My strategy is for you to see, so don't turn away by what I say. Cause I'm bad when I'm talking to you. Therefore, fly brothers who could do it too. The party people in the place is just for you. So get down, get on down. I'm the plus one more, and I'm throwing down.
She's the best female in this here town.
And everybody know that I'm golden brown, and you know
She's the joint. A fully young lady with nice fine styles. I'm the kind of MC to make women dress fly. I'm Jazz the Jet with the most finesse. I'm down with the father. Rock the
can you with you, I'm sure to prove. Cause I want a young lady with a lot of finesse, and she's got to be on.
Cause he's jazzy jazz.
She's got to be sweet, yes, fine and kind, and that's just the kind of woman I want to be mine. You know, he's the joint. Come on, do it. To the funk side, get funky, get funky.
Kane 103.7 FM.
Sounds that you hear so good to your ear. Have no fear, Curtis Blow is here. Ladies in the place with the bass in your face. Check out first place in the MC race. I'm motivating, syncopating, dominating, hesitating, rapping, son of a gun. And I'm looking for participation from the people of the nation, making up a co-creation jam of the one. Yo mama, yo daddy, yo sister, yo brother, yo cat, yo dog. I'm just joking.
Kane FM.
You don't stop, you don't stop. We're the university, as you can see, we rock to the rhythm of the BBB. Those of you who don't know us well, listen to our am. But I'm Honey B, and I'm Sandy D. We know a lot about show and tell. And do you hear me talking? Do you hear our tone? There's nothing like our own. Cause you know that I know our band had just begun, y'all. So clap your hands off the feet, and listen to the rhythm of the short shot beat. Everybody say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And you don't stop, keep on to the short shot. I request to you, without finesse, our zodiac sign is Aquarius. I'm 5'3", as you can see, and I will rock you to the beat. When I'm 5'2", I just begun. So come on, y'all, let's have some fun. I have a pretty face, a 29 waist, and no one else can take our place. I'm Sandy D, and I'm right on time. And I'm Honey B, and I'm super fly. You better watch your back, I don't know it's mine. Honey B, oh what you got for me? Honey D, oh what you got for me? I keep on, y'all, you don't stop. I keep on, y'all, until the break of dawn. You keep on it, you keep on and on, cause the beat don't stop till the break of dawn. Cause I'm an L off the O, the B-U-G. I ain't talking about with my eyes
Hey yo, this is Phil Most Chill, still out to kill, and you are listening to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show presented by Whirlwind D on Kane FM. Get busy or get lost.
Welcome back to the Pioneers Hip Hop Show on Kane 103.7 FM. Tonight we are firmly rooted on the old school circa 1979 to 1982 and playing a selection of brilliant records from that period. Now, first up was a record by the DJ who is often said to be the inventor of the scratch, the legendary Grand Wizard Theodore, and the brilliant Can I Get a Soul Clap. Theodore was originally part of the L Brothers alongside Mean Gene and Cordio, and was also one of the first DJs to perfect the needle drop technique. From there we move to the sublime That's the Joint by the Funky 4+1 More, such a classic jam, and I gotta say one of my favourite records from this period. Up next we move to Curtis Blow, hip-hop's first superstar, with his much sampled Do the Do, the flip side of It's Getting Hot, and then finally we moved into another one of Peter Brown's related label records. That was the fantastic Dancing Heart by the Universal 2, such a jam. So we find ourselves in 1981, a time when the term hip-hop was starting to be used to describe the culture, and many say that it was Lovebug Starsky who first coined the term. Also in 1981, DJ WizKid would become the first winner of the New Music Seminar DJ Battle, and of course shooting would finally begin on hip-hop's first and most essential, in my opinion, film, The Brilliant Wild Style. 81 was also a significant year as ABC News over in the States first started to talk about hip-hop on a national scale, which meant it started getting an even wider audience. Gotta also mention that legendary battle between the Cold Crush Brothers and the Fantastic Five at Harlem World. So much happening. Speaking of the Cold Crush Brothers, up next we have another firm favourite of mine. It's Weekend by the Cold Crush Brothers.
Everybody, listen to this. The weekend's coming, so don't you dare miss. You're gonna regret if you're not on the scene, and then you get so mad it'll make you scream.
Everyone, give us your attention, please. Especially those of you who like parties. Here's a message that we would like to extend about what everybody love the what weekend. Cause there's a time to work and a time to play. But you can't do both effectively in one day. To win out of the late without further ado, let the fall run down this week for you.
We're the Cold Crush 4, giving you more, and we just came to say, ooh, ah, what a relief it is when the weekend comes your way. So grab a chair from anywhere and listen while we speak. Cause the 4's gonna start this record on with the first day of the week, Monday.
The train was late and you hardly ate, plus you wish you stayed in bed. Tuesday, you ran a game on your favorite dame and then she messed up your head.
Wednesday,
you try to be cool and stay out of school, yet you fronted and show both.
Thursday,
now your mind's in doubt, you can't figure out why you're not gonna get promoted.
Friday, after work is through, you sleep for a few until you hear somebody say, hey,
wake up, now don't you know?
The weekends when we play hot hood.
Cause it's Jay's for the bass.
Don't leave the girl alone. Friday and Saturday night, everybody's gonna show at the place where all the fly people go. You've been working at school or your occupation. Now it's about time for some recreation. Slip on your shirt and designer jeans. Say the ones that are tight at the hip and the seams. And then you shoot at the door like you're running the race. And then you finally arrive at the Cold Crush place. And you can't believe your eyes. The body's packed and jumping. That funky bass is thumping. And the way the music rocks your mind. Ooh, girl, it's really something. It's a place where you can dance. You can even find romance. And I know you can do it if you give yourself a chance. So just dance. Almighty
Can't you see what we're gonna do?
That's the party.
Grandmaster Kaz, I got loving to spare. I'm gonna chill with the ladies when I get there.
Well, I'm Jerry D or JDL, and when I get there, I'm gonna rock it well.
EZAD, not talking no job, and the butt's gonna swing when I arrive.
Well, I'm the almighty. When I get there, I wanna hear everybody cheer, cheer, cheer.
And with the Gold Crush 4, with Tone and Chase, come on, everybody in the party place.
Just throw your hands in the air
and wave them like you just don't care.
And if you're on the go,
come speak to so.
Somebody say ho,
ho, ho, ho, ho, ho.
One 103.7 Kane FM.
Kane 103.7 FM.
Hey y'all, I want everybody to throw your hands in the air if you love cold cash money one time and everyone repeat after me and say money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Here we go. Ball with the ball, but ding a ding, diggy diggy diggy, shake the boogie to the bang bang boogie. Then you ball with the ball, but ding a ding, diggy diggy diggy, shake the boogie to the bang bang boogie. Right now, y'all, it's time to prepare for your #1 rapper of the year. So just stop what you're doing and listen to me. I'm gonna rap to you all about making money with the ball, but ding a ding, diggy diggy diggy, shake the boogie to the bang bang boogie. Then you ball with the ball, but ding a ding, diggy diggy diggy, shake the boogie to the bang bang boogie. To learn to make money, just listen to me. Taking advice from AJ and Viciously. Buy 2 turntables and a microphone, and you would never get the girls to ever leave you alone. And if this don't work, I don't know what to say, because it worked for me, and I'm now on my way. Word 'em up, word 'em up, word 'em up, word 'em up. Y'all, now a lady I know whose name was Bunny walked around town spending cold cash money. Bunny spent money each and every day. She had it like that since the start of May, because a man hit the number and it must be told he ran out of town and left Bunny at home. He shouldn't have gone out and left her that way, because Bunny hit the number the very next day. She called the Daily News and then they told the Post. I heard her on the phone, she began to boast. They hung up the phone, rushed to the scene to interview her in that brown limousine. She used a 6-door caddy with the TV and bar, and there was a space antenna at the back of the car. I watched her tour the streets all through the night. To make money like her, you had to be alright. With the ball, but ding a ding, diggy diggy diggy, shake the boogie to the bang bang boogie. The ball with the ball, but ding a ding, diggy diggy diggy, shake the boogie to the bang bang boogie. Money, man. Yeah, I'm making money too, man. Yeah. Hey, y'all. Make money, dig this. Money today is the root to all evil. I'm telling you the truth and not trying to mislead you. It makes people act in a strange way, and then they wind up in jail for 20 or 30 days. The best thing to do is just to cool out. You have a pocket full of money, and that's without a doubt, because money today has gotten a little hard. So wake up every morning and be ready to start. Now you're riding to work or going to school. Just do it every day and it'll help you. Your friends are laughing joke, but pay them no mind, because you'll be making money all the time. Come on, one. Come on, Juice 2. Come on, 1, 2, 3. Oh! Ball with the ball, but ding a ding, diggy diggy diggy, shake the boogie to the bang bang boogie. Then you ball with the ball, and the ding diggy diggy diggy, shake the boogie to the bang bang boogie. Money is fun, and that's a fact. I know the party people who got it like that. And the more money you make, y'all, the easier you sleep. So when you run into $1 million, don't be cheap. I try to buy a couple houses and a couple diamond rings. Buy a pretty girl a parrot, you know, can sing and making money. Ha, I'm making money. Ha, I'm making money. Keep making cash money, and you know that. Yeah, we get money now. We on our way. Come on, y'all.
Kane FM.
Said I work that body, jerk that right. I work that body to the beat. I said I work that body, jerk that right. I work that body like a free. Oh, when you work that body and jerk that right, you get on up, then you move. Cause my name is Mr. Magic and I'm in the groove. So get on up and go to school. So get up and get up and get up and get up. Get up and go to school. You got to get up and get up and get up and get up. Get up and go to school. So when you go to school, don't be no fool. Say what I say. What's your favorite class? Is it history? No. Is it English? No. Is it math? No. Is it biology? No. Is it geometry? No. Well, I'm sure it's just like mine. I know lunchtime is so fine. Oh, what a food ain't even all that good. The macaroni steak said it's like what a hot dog eat. All that tasty, I don't try to eat and none of that pastry. Did you ever go to sleep feeling tired and weak? And the only thing you want to do is go to sleep feeling things cry. You take a little nap and you say to yourself, hey, that's that. So while you're sleeping, you start to dream. You remember how you danced on the disco scene. Rest your name, you know that was right on time. To put a wiggle double wiggle in there behind. You say, hotel, a motel, a holiday inn. Say if your girl starts acting up, or did you take her friend? I like this y'all, I like that y'all, I tell you big y'all. You don't stop, you don't hotel, motel. What you gonna do today? You gonna rock to the beat of Mr. Magic, cause this is what I say. I said that when I die, you bury me deep. You playing two turntables near my feet. You put my mixer next to my head, so when you close the gap, you like a rock you dead. So at the time, I like to cut through his body, somebody say, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. So get up, get up, get up, get up, get up and go to school. You got to get up, get up, get up, get up, get up and go to school. I said I work that body, drink that body. I work that body to the freeze. I said I work that body, drink that body. I work that body to the beat. And when you work that body and drink that body, you get on up and you move. Cause my name is Mr. Mac, so get in the groove. Come on, everybody, and go to school.
Peace. This is legendary MC Silver Fox of Fantasy 3. I'm listening to Whirlwind D. Let's get it.
Kane 103.7 FM, the Pioneers Hip Hop Show dropping bombs. Remember, you can catch the Pioneers Show live on Kane FM every 4 weeks on your FM dial at 9 PM on a Monday or via the player at www.kanefm.com. Also, a big shout out to my Boot Records fam, Miracle and Jazz T, and their show every 2 weeks on a Wednesday at 9 PM. Check out the Kane FM schedule on the website for details of both of those shows and much, much more on the Big Daddy that is Kane. So we round off our selection with a killer jam by the Cold Crush Brothers, another one of hip-hop's most important pioneering crews. From there we moved into some early Boston pressure and an early hip-hop electro track that was Pac-Man by the Johnson Crew. Now the Johnson Brothers, aka of course the Johnson Crew, Michael and Sonny, would be the first hip-hop crew to put Boston on the map in terms of record releases. Now this, their debut in its form, is one of the most distinctive releases of the time and originally appeared on Boston International before they signed a deal with Tommy Boy Records. Michael Johnson would leave to pursue a solo career in 1986 but would eventually find fame discovering the group New Edition. Now originals, and that was the original version that we played, slightly different to the Tommy Boy version that came out later, are pretty scarce and can be distinguished from the recent reissue by the FW etching, label contours, texture, and of course the shade of the label. Unfortunately though, reissues I have noticed are sometimes sold online as originals, so really look carefully if you are in the market for an original. We then move to another iconic MC, the Chief Rocker Busy Bee, and a brilliant track, Making Cash Money. What a tune. We cannot move any further without acknowledging though Busy Bee's legendary battle with Kool Moe-Dee of the Treacherous 3 in December 1981 at Harlem World. Another momentous moment in hip-hop's early timeline. Finally, we rounded things off with another early Connecticut gem, this time from Connecticut Kingpin, Mr. Magic. So we take a pause for a cause in 1982 when Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 were on everyone's lips with their hit The Message, and records like the Soul Sonic Force's Planet Rock were redefining the sound of hip-hop. Hip-hop's message and culture was now firmly moving beyond its original borders, with the New York City Rap Tour featuring Fab Five Freddy, Futara and the Rocksteady Crew, and many, many more coming over to the UK and France. So we're going to pause our story, our episode on early old school hip-hop at this point. And of course, you can check the next stage in the story if you check out our 1983 show, which is also on the Whirlwind D YouTube channel. Of course, there are lots of classic jams from the period 79 to 82 that I haven't played. I couldn't fit everything in. Maybe we'll do another show on this another time. Okay, it's that point in the show where we move into some new music, and there's just so much good music out these days, so let me tell you what I'm going to play. First up, we have an incredible track. It's a little exclusive, a live cut exclusive by Uber Magnetic. Now, Uber Magnetic, of course, features Roughneck Jihad and my man Junior Disprol. Now, they did this brilliant bit of marketing, this cheeky little hidden content club for people that have bought the record before or bought one of the releases on Plague before, and fortunately I had, and so I got hold of these fantastic tracks. And the first track we're going to play is one of them. It's not coming out on the forthcoming album, but it is absolutely brilliant. It's a track called Punks. So that's the first track. We then moved into Slipper featuring Wordsmith and Rappers Delight. Loving that 4 different Rappers Delight tracks. Junior Disprol, of course, on one of those as well. Big up to Slipper. We then moved to MC Rocker featuring Peter Parker, Prev Marco and my man Stanton Miles, and a brilliant cut called Cotton Ball. Watch out for MC Rocker. I know there's lots more to come. There'll probably be a website or something going up soon, but fantastic music from them, well worth following. Big up to my man Skyrock as well. I know he's involved with that record too. And finally, we're going to round things off with another track from my album. A track that amazingly I've not actually played on the show yet because it was the first single from the album with the video as well, called When It's Fast. So that's about it from me, Whirlwindy. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here for another month of hip-hop goodness. Remember, you can catch us in a month's time. Not sure what the focus of the show is going to be, so keep your eye out on socials and we'll keep you posted. Until next time, I leave you with the brilliant sound of Uber Magnetic and Punks.
To flail like cat o' nine tails and free innocent prisoners from 9 jails. From Santa Clara is where my mind hails. Smoke herb all the time, sometimes they do rails in the bay watching whales, concocting tales, stopping the stale from propping themselves up where they fail. Flail in the details, derailing, crawl slow like snail or impaled man who drags his entrails while the rest of humanity inhale contrail. Chud the holy grail of beats deep as sheets of shale. I excavate, keep the fossil in the pail. Go in a rage, punch you in your nostril, then I bail. Read me like Braille bumps of Trump. Guess how many decibels escaped from my trunk? Back in grade school, I'd punt a little kid's lunch. Now, when they jump up, I beat down punks.
The Brat Club, Bronx the Redux, reading creepbacks, the creep avatar, the steampunk, peeps the steamax. Trade curating, freight paint, the bass spin, scaling the railings and scout, and then escaping, it's gruesome. Viva la revolution, I do them just after I'm done doing ablutions. The unrestricted misfit in your district, king this, whipping out biscuits on the big hits. Microdosing, toxins off a toe skin, emboldened, coasting down the Gold Coast on gold wings. Under the guise, as day breaks under burnt skies, I see the sunrise engulfed as the sun dies. The virulous flat lines, the flatlining vitals, the long time, uncontestable at recitals. The burden on the back at the bush, build the bivouac, a blackout. Now my ancestors pull the trigger back. And that's a brick through the window. It's grim, no, even if I grin. Going in slow, with a slow gym for the win. In my gym clothes, entering, tiptoe in my pimp souls.
Kane FM.
The garbage pail kid. The garbage pail kid. Garbage pail kid. Garbage pail. What? Garbage pail kid. Garbage pail. Garbage pail kid. Garbage pail kid.
Slipper, Gervastus, and your man.
Yeah. Pick up a pack and wrap it tonight. Yes. Hit up Slipper and bag a batch for the ride. Hey. See him grinning when packing rappers they like. And joy is lacking in life. You need that rappers delight. Yeah. Pick up a pack and wrap it tonight. Yes. Hit up Slipper and bag a batch for the ride. Hey. See him grinning when packing rappers they like. And joy is lacking in life. You need that rappers delight. Yeah. I was raised in the garbage, not in the cabbage patch. I saw Barry get blasted by angry Annie's gaff. Bare snotty Sallys, dirty Harrys and catty Catfies. Every character was comparative to a natural lad within my habitat. The geeking words he formed, I turned into a nerdy norm. Slowly started stacking packs. Now I've grown, known for throwing bars on backing tracks. Got the chance to merge the cards with rap, bruv. Imagine that. Perfect match, guess it happened for a reason. And I'm happy that I'm a factor in proceedings. Plus I'm active, so I got my packs up. I'm not stalling till completion, drop the ball. Now I'm playing catch up on all the Series 1. Spitters and sport, my cards are massed. Everything from Haysap Hockey to Grandmaster Dash. But I lost Swim Shady, now I've traded off the batch. And I've got two pucks and Puck D's. That's a rap Series 2. Hip-hop horror, sinister vibes like Mob Creep, Cypress Kill and Vanilla Slice. Some of the illest illustrations that I've seen in my life. Home of the legendary Sean Vincent Price. Series 3. Imagine rappers with everyday professions. Visit your RIS accountant to protect your neck investment. And call the method manager to face your questions. When can't waste management ain't making their collection. A smart move combining Barter Street with food. Got a Rib Daddy Kane from my old dirty barbecue. And Charlie Tuna for the Gucci main course. Past the race, childish jalapeno flaming sauce. 5. Fashion and flows, labels and clothes. From Little Wayne coats to Hat Boys and De La Souls. And that brings us to a close. Just a taste, get involved, jump aboard and get your orders placed in the post. It's a wrap. Look, pick up a pack and wrap it tonight. Hit up slipper and bag a batch for the ride. See him grinning when packing rappers they like. Enjoy his lacking his life.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
you're listening to Kane 103.7 FM.
Hit hard like a rock and
Margo, Mr. Rocker. Yeah. Everybody wanna be rough and tough and stuff. Conceal the fact that they are actually powder puffs. You gon' get enough for pretending to be a tough guy. A snuff guy might be just what you need. Claim you can take anybody, talk about it, but you never caught anybody. Got plenty shotties, but you still get jumped. Now it's a viral video of how to steal your stuff. You wanna be gangster, so you personify what you are not. How long are you gonna lie? That's not how real gangsters do. No matter the repercussions, they gonna tell you the straight truth. I feel most of the people that try to glorify serving time are the ones that never had to take a ride. I'm not hard, but I will defend myself. Attack me, be prepared to defend yourself. So you wanna be tough, be considered hard. Now it's popular not to be who you are. Fake and fraudulent seems to be the new trend. Pretend to be a winner, but you keep losing. Bruising your ego, man, fuck those people. You're like Mel Gibson, your weapon's not lethal. Cotton ball asses, try to fool the masses. The guns you talk about busting a gun, you a man.
Got me looking down the barrel of the gun, shine spotlight. I'm trying to run for them things out wild and it's overdone. How many mics must I burn through? It's not enough. Master pacifism, they seem to play the same. It's like who banging drums on the block, swinging a drop. Got the biggest hops, you ain't killing this shit. You need to stop. My microphone attack, arsenal fully stocked, loaded like a clip spill, killing tight. Personal, we never stop. Ain't nothing sweet, your ass lollipop. Back in the day, the radio be playing body rock, body rock. Now they only lock it when the shotty cock. Bodies drop surrounded in chalk. The outline really is just a reminder that Peter Parker heard somebody talking like they live in foul. Yo, we called the team out, we shutting them down. Radio never played my hits, I still move the
So
crowd.
you wanna be tough, be considered hard. Now it's popular not to be who you are. Fake and fraudulent seems to be the new
Kane FM.
Tribute to the rappers gone past with the beats and the rhymes that come hard and fast. A time when the rhyme lama's all fine. It's time of fat beats be one of a kind. But I must say it, don't say this way is whack. Love beats from all eras like wine in a rack. Shout to the peeps deep in a bar. From high focus and boost to the older got love. From Spike Cat to this track to boom back, we got that. All eras represented in the words of the track. Here I am. R-A-W, Kane was a flame. I was always bugging to. True like voodoo is beats that go Q2. White words on the bench true. With a view to gonna sit back and chill, act ill and outclass. Love a beat in a rhyme, especially when it's fast.
You wanna know why? Because
Truth is my love is for all kinds of rap, from Junior G to Mellow and just to boom bap. From the main streets to clean streets, all on the map. From bass to east coast, every era that's fat. So much to choose, always win and not lose. Stars for days and MCs who were bruised. I'll admit that the old raps are perfectly fresh, but the new tunes are boom, we're definitely deaf. Look next to dissect what's dope and all hitting. On Cold Crush we play new pieces all fitting. Look to the future but value the past. Preserve all our culture, love what's outlast. I'll never put you down, your sound, cause what's better, just different and crafted to your own letter. There's a place for all stars and a place to buzz. All beats and rhymes, but I love it when it's fast.
You wanna know why? Because you wanna know why? Because
fast rap, soul rap doesn't really matter. Pull up a chair, let's have a rap now. I remember the December when I walked into groove, heard Rebel on the system and started to move. Walked to the queue, my view was there. Racks of imports, I had a head of hair. Every genre stacked high and the racks were vast. Nod my head to the beats